As you can see, I am already logged in my subscription. So here I am having I used the login as account to come into my subscription. But before we go ahead, we're going to see which machine we are going to back up. So get Azure VM, and then we're going to see which resource we want the machine which is in this resource group, just Azure. So yeah, this is the machine that you're going to back up. So we have 6 steps to follow, or 6 operations that you're going to follow in backing up the machine. So the first step we are going to follow, we are going to create the vault. So creating the vault. Yeah, and then we do that by we use this command. I paste it in new Azure recover services vault, and then we have the name of the vault that we want to give. Here, let me just give Azure vault. So, and then there's also group name that we want. It's just Azure or AZ, and then location. So the location is gonna be North Europe because that's what I choose. So, and then I highlight and run the selection. So we see that our vault has been created successfully. So the second thing that you're going to do, we need to create the context for our vault. The context for the vault. So that we can just have a short time in our tutorial, so I decided to just write the command in advance and just paste them instead of writing them in the tutorial, so the video can take long. So to create the context, so we use the following command here, or the following script. Yeah, we see that we create a variable, just I call it vault ID, and then this is in the variable called vault ID. I'm going to get the service vault, and then with the name that I mentioned there up. So which means that's how I'm going to get the ID. I run this one, and then after it runs successfully, then I'm going to set the context to that vault. So to set the context is just set as a recover services vault context, and then it is having the switch vault, and then it's having the switch vault, which will receive the parameter of what we just created here as vault ID. So then I run this one. Yeah, so now we just finished creating the context for our vault. So the next thing that we are going to do now, we are going to make the replication for our backup. It's number 3, I guess, number 3. This one was number 2. So number 3, just backup replication. That's what we're going to do now. So but before we go further, some of you might get a certain warning here that the command is being depreciated by PowerShell. So to bypass that warning, so it's better you can you write the following command here to bypass the PowerShell warning. So if I just write this command, I already wrote the same command, but it's okay. So which means this one is going to bypass the PowerShell warning, so you can run your command without interruption. Yes, now come back to our backup replication. So we use this command or this script in order to replicate the backup. So set as the recovery service pro backup properties, and then we have a vault, the vault ID that we created here, the variable that we created here, and then now we're gonna make the backup storage redundancy. So backup storage redundancy here, it can be so we have geo redundancy or local redundancy, so that's what we can choose from. So for me, I just choose to do locally redundancy. Yeah. So and then I'm going to run this script here. Then yeah, it's run successfully. So after it runs successfully, so now we come back to number 4. So number 4, that's we are going to create the policy. We are going to create the policy creation. Yeah. So we are going to create the policy. No, or just get the policy, because in this tutorial we are not going to create the policy, but we are going to use the default policy that we already have in Azure. So just getting the policy, the policy. Yeah. So I come here. Oh, this was number 4. Yeah. So we use this command here. Yeah. So we use this variable here, Paul. So get us a recovery services backup protection policy and name. So the name of the policy is the default policy. So of course we can create our policy, but this tutorial is not about creating the policy. We are using the default one that we already have. So and then we highlight the selection of the script, and then we run the script. Yes, our policy has been created. So very good. So now number 5, we are going to associate the policy with the virtual machine that we are about to create. So associate our VM with the backup policy, and then we do that by the following command here. Yeah. So enable Azure recovery services backup protection. So then the policy, the one that we just had here in this variable, and then the name of the machine we had it was AZ, so VM, that's the name of the virtual machine, and then resource group name, this is asset. Yeah, that's and then we're going to write this, we're going to highlight and run the selection. It should take a while, a little bit, but afterward it should succeed. Yes, now it's finished. As you can see, now we have the workload name, which is our virtual machine, and then we have it has already configured the backup. So the backup is already configured, the backup, and then the configuration of the backup is completed. This is the start time and the end time for that operation, and this is the job ID. Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. So now we already have our machine associated with the backup policy. So the next, the final step is to backup the machine. Now backup our machine. Yeah, that's the last and the final step. So this we're going to have 3 line of scripts. So the first one we are going to create a container for that. So we have the container variable. So we are going to get the container and then the container type, and then you are going to associate that container with our virtual machine. So we're going to highlight this one and then run. So after that, we see that it's run successfully. So the next thing, so we are going to get elements from the container. So, and we do that by writing the following command. So this is one we're gonna get as a recovery service backup item. In our cases, this is Azure VM. So that are found in this container that we had here, and then the workload type that should be Azure VM. So we can see different local workload type here. We have Azure Files, Azure SQL Database, and then Azure VM and Microsoft SQL. Yeah. So here, what we are interested here is Azure VM. So that is our workload type. So then we highlight this one. Writing this one, yeah, it also ran successfully. So now after finishing this step, the final line of code is to actually do the backup. So we do the backup by writing the following code here. It's called backup as a recovery services backup item. So the item that we got from here, and then yeah, in our case, we're going to backup this container, the container which includes our machine, which is our AZVM machine. So now we are going to run the selection again. So this one should take a while before it finish. Yeah, very good. So now we can see that this finishes very well. So it is in progress. So now the last thing that we can try to do is to verify our backup. Verify our backup. Yeah, verifying our backup. So just to start, I can just clear the screen a little bit. CLS, just yeah. And now to verify the backup, we're going to see the jobs that are currently running into our vault, and we do that by writing this command: get Azure recovery services backup job. So yes, very good. So here we can see that our backup is still in progress. It can take up to 30 minutes, sometimes 1 hour or longer, so depending on different circumstances, but our backup is in progress. It's backing up our virtual machine, the first initial backup. So, and then we had the backup that was configured before, the job which was configured. So in a nutshell, that's all that is needed to back up our virtual machine using PowerShell. The goodness of using PowerShell is because it helps us knowing which steps that we need to go through in order to back up the machine. So it is 6 steps, but if maybe we have to create the policy, then it can be 7 steps, but it's usually 6 steps. If you already have our backup policy already there, it's 6 steps in order to back up a virtual machine. Yes, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. If you did not subscribe yet, please consider subscribing by pressing the subscribe button down below.